Karibu Nyumbani family. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. Thank you so much for, allowing us to join you on your relocation journey home. We have started this relocation service on Patreon, in case you're watching this on YouTube, where we kind of help you by providing necessary tips, etc., and extra information, and where we can contacts for your relocation journey home. I've been getting a lot of questions about how to make money while you're in Africa or while you've moved to the country of your choice. And I keep saying the best way is to come in with some kind of financing already happening for you. The easiest way is to look for work online, and there's a lot of different kind of work that you could do online, from basic data entry to data analysis to there's many different things that you could do, writing reports for people, etc., and earning money from that. There are many different ways, and there's excellent YouTube videos on different kinds of online work that you could do from home, because that would be your best bet. Now, YouTube has become a very lucrative platform for many people to make money, to support themselves on their relocation journey. And I wanted to talk a bit about the pros and cons of starting a YouTube channel and recording your relocation journey, and maybe then some safety tips from someone who is from the continent and has been doing YouTube for a while. There are certain things I don't do, and it's for a reason. I'll share that with you in the end. But yes, a lot of people do record their journey home, and they find that, with the YouTube, now that YouTube has slightly changed the rules, so you need 1,000 subscribers, which is never hard to get if you're doing a repatriation story. Many people love to hear about other people's journeys, because there's so many people making the exodus right now. And I highly recommend that you check out, diasporans who have done that. But so you require 1,000 subscribers, and then you require 4,000 hours, and that's the hard one to get. But once you get those 4,000 hours, you can add to your budget anywhere between 1,000 to 4, 5, 10,000 if you're a big time YouTuber. But you can add between $1,000 to $2,000 to your finances every month, to your supporting funds every month. And that is a big portion, and will make a very big difference, because it kind of eases the anxiety of trying to look for work. Now, let's not forget, beloveds, that the system is, the global monetary system is planning to crash. So it's always good that while that you use that as a transitionary kind of financing situation for yourself, instead of, and it shouldn't be the only one. So the pros of that is, of course, that it will give you money quickly. YouTube is also a great way, like once you have a channel, to meet other people and to get put into contacts with various different, people will hear about you in the country. So it's a great way for people to let people know, hey, I'm here, and you'll get a lot of people kind of coming to see you, because people, Africans always love to hear what people are saying locally about their country, as much from themselves and also from our African brothers and sisters who are returning home. It's also something that, all the emotional stuff, you can share it with your, descendants. You can keep a kind of a log of your journey home, even for yourselves. It's a beautiful experience to have on hand. But the main reason that people do it, beloveds, is for the money. So the pros are, it would add $1,000 to $2,000 to your budget. You'd be able to meet people within your community. It also makes you less of a target in terms of like with your residency permits, because a lot of the people you'd be meeting would be people affiliated or connected to the government. So you could create relationships, because Africa and residence permits and all of that is about personal relationship. But some of the cons is that it is a dangerous path to take, and you need to be aware of the security issues and the security exposure that you could be putting your family into. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, beloveds, to Karibu Nyumbani. And Karibu Nyumbani basically means welcome home in Kiswahili. We're so glad that you have chosen us to be part of your information package on your relocation journey home. We hope the tips that we provide will be of use and of service to you. Definitely let us know in the comments below any other topics that you would like to cover. But one of the biggest concerns for people, of course, moving to a new country is, how do I make money? How do I survive? And YouTube has become a very lucrative place for people to make money, beloveds, and be able to fund their relocation service. But the cons are, and this is something we've seen primarily in Gambia. I really haven't heard about it happening anywhere else, but primarily in the Gambia, we've seen a lot of YouTubers who showed us, like, this is my house and this is my this and this is my that, unfortunately getting robbed. And many actually blamed, I think there was like 5 or 6 robberies in the last year, and many actually blamed the fact that they had YouTube channels which exposed them. So the cons are that you are moving to an engineered poor country, which means that even if all you're getting from your money abroad is $1,000, or all you're making is $1,000, you will still be better off than the majority of the people in the nation that you're moving to. And so, depending on where you live, depending on where you situate yourself, this could put you at risk because, poverty. People need to feed themselves and feed their families, and they usually see foreigners as a target, not to even alert you. Maybe I'll even do a separate video on how to choose where to live. But and a lot of young people do watch YouTube, and a lot of locals do watch things about their country. You'll even be put in rotation in that country. So the cons are that you have to be aware that it could make you a security risk based on what you're covering. For example, if you cover controversial political issues in the country, then the government could make your stay very difficult. So unless you're married or you have your citizenship, most people prefer to lay low. And this is just a fact. I wish I could say, get involved in the political process, but just, so it's better to avoid the local politics of the country, even if you see what's going on, because many have come, many have seen, and it's not, it's the system that is totally corrupt and must go. And sometimes the people have to kind of do it for themselves. But already a lot of African governments are kind of weary of the African diaspora because you guys are more exposed, you know more about the game, you can see the game that's being played on the people, and they always fear that, the cross-pollination of ideas would kind of inspire and radicalize our people to be true Pan-Africanists. So always be aware of that. Don't get into the local politics unless you really have a strong backbone in the country. Secondly, I really wouldn't do very personal videos where I show my house. I mean, I've never, as I've been on YouTube I think 3-4 years, and for me to like do a tour of my house and a tour of this and what I have, never. Like, this is not the place to do that, beloveds. As I said, like, the majority of the people are engineered poor, and depending on where you choose to live, what neighborhood you choose to live, that could make you easily accessible to nefarious characters. And just in general, I really do believe that the evil eye exists, so I wouldn't go too personal. And I'd really think twice about showing my children, showing my personal lifestyle. I mean, you can shoot anywhere in your house. Like, this is the garden of where I live. But I would never take you round on a house tour, because I think that's now my privacy, and I have to protect that. And I think that's something you have to do. So I would personally advise, people go to YouTube for all kinds of information. If you are going to record your relocation journey, try to make it less about your household and your things, etc., and more about your experience in the country. That would be my personal advice. Or pick a topic or something that you're very passionate about, and cover that, because I've seen a lot of people doing relocation journeys back to the motherland, but I have seen very few, and I know you're out there, guys, because you always contact me, who are letting us know like the awesome things that they're actually doing in the various countries. There's so many of us who are farming and have, connected with local farmers to do that. There are people who are growing herbs and all kinds of medicinal products. So people are doing things. There are people who are repackaging cocoa butter and sending it back to the divided states. So that would be the line I'd go in, because I also feel that the YouTube space, when it comes to people recording their journeys, it is getting a bit saturated. So unless you go for the shock factor, then it may take you a while to get monetized, which means get those 4,000 hours. So any subject that you're into, any like passion project that you're doing, something that you don't mind recording every day, is what I would definitely encourage you to do. Let me know if you have any questions along these lines, and don't let this stop you. Just really be wise, beloveds. Be wise about, do I include my children, do I not include my children in the clips, do include where we go to school, like how much information do you disclose? And it's different from one country to another. Some countries are safer than others. Some neighborhoods are safer than others. I feel like the rural areas are safer than the big cities, just because everyone knows everyone. So, if Tom steals from you, the entire village will know Tom stole from you. It's so easy to track down a thief in these small communities of like 20, 50 people. But if you're in a big city like the Nairobis of this world, just Johannesburgs of this world, then you have to also move differently. And I hope that you're moving to the motherland in order to move to the rural areas somewhere, to the small towns, beloveds, because all these big cities are Babylon, literally, and they will be rolling out the Babylon agenda, and you don't want to get caught up. Until next time, remember, you're always welcome home. Karibu Nyumbani.